time for Leadership of the Leaf. Great leaders smoke great cigars. Now, in their fourth season, Austin and Dice are back with more leadership advice and cigar knowledge to share. Grab a cigar and let's put some smoke in the air.
We need some professionalism here.
Welcome to another episode of Leadership of the Leaf. My name's Austin.
What's up, Austin?
I have a shitty co-host named
I disagree.
Childish co-host.
I have to fucking disagree.
Dick shoots from the outside.
I don't know what you're talking
hard.
about. I mean, Dick be going hard in the paint. Shout out to Toronto Raptors.
Childish. I told you, childish. Churlish.
Just terrible.
Churlish.
What's up, man? Hey.
What's going on?
Enlighten.
Yeah.
Our listeners.
Yeah.
To what we're smoking.
Okay. First off, I got to give a shout out to George the Greek.
George the Greek.
For hooking us up with this cigar.
Yes, we've been holding it for a minute.
We have, not intentionally, just life. I'm just kidding. Life gets in the way. But right now, we are smoking the La Aurora Barrel Aged by Karl Malone. None other than the MVP 2 years.
Karl Malone got MVP?
Twice? 97, 99, I believe.
Oh, shit. How many rings does he have?
Oh,
the same as Charles Barkley. Okay.
Damn!
What?
Damn.
Charles Barkley, my boy. Come on.
That's cold-blooded.
It's true, though. I'm not saying anything that's not true. Do they deserve a ring? Deserve? Are they championship caliber players? Hell yeah. Yes, absolutely.
You can say that about Russell Westbrook.
The championship caliber player, 100%.
Yep.
Doesn't have a ring, though. It's not part of that elite club. Yet, he still has a chance.
He does. Still playing, still active.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, we're smoking the Karl Malone cigar from La Aurora. Thank you, George Greek. Can't wait to finish smoking this and get to all the mouthfeel.
Yes. I'm liking it right away. I'm getting something there, but I'll wait. Before I announce it, I'll wait. And as always, we're smoking the same cigar this time. But yeah. I bet you.
I can almost guarantee you that I know where you're going with this.
3,000,000-1. We are not drinking the same thing. We're smoking the same, but not drinking the same.
Yeah. You would be 100% correct, good man.
Oh, you go fuck yourself. So please grace these beautiful ears of mine with what you're drinking.
So I'm trying. Well, let me put it this way: the wife.
Are you
went
broken?
Out.
Okay, wife went out.
The wife went out, and she decided to do some taste testing. Apparently, all on her own. She's a big girl. Anyway, so she came home with a bottle of whiskey, bourbon whiskey. Right. It's called Bluff City.
Bluff City, bitch. Bluff City.
No, sorry, I lied. Bluff Springs.
Bluff Springs. That makes my little song irrelevant.
Sorry.
Bluff Springs.
It's brand new. It's brand new to me. I've never had it. She got it from Total Wine after trying it, and she apparently loved it. So I'm giving it a try tonight. Just straight Bluff Springs.
Bluff Springs.
Bourbon. Now, which Hennessy are you drinking? Please tell me you got the LeBron Hennessy, so it's just full of tears.
That would have been good. But I am not drinking the LeBron Hennessy. I do have the LeBron Hennessy. I only bought one bottle because I'm a collector, so I will not be opening that bottle. The tears are safe. Bottle will not be open.
Fucking lame.
But I felt that this cigar, being that one, George the Greek hooked us up, because it literally was a hookup. It was a hookup.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
100%.
It wasn't like, hey, here's some free samples. It was like, hey, swing back through later, and we'll see. And this has been quite some time ago, so I hope he's not getting in trouble for it. But he slid them like to us, you know.
Yeah, it was a bro move. It was a bro move for sure.
And it is Karl Malone. You did say he's an MVP. I do agree he is a very honorable player, even though Barkley was my boy. Pairing it with EXO.
Just EXO?
Yes. Neat.
Oh. That's why you have such a nasty taste in your mouth for Karl Malone, man?
EXO is the best. Okay, maybe it's not the best, but I haven't had the best yet because I don't have $5,000 to be spending on Hennessy.
Yeah, hey, it's about to be $20,000.
If you want to chip in,
shit.
My go-to Hennessy is VSOP, by the way.
I know that.
Dude, I'm saying it for the listeners. I know you, Austin. If anybody that should know,
podcast.
Anybody should know. You should know. Fuck me, man.
Are we doing a podcast right now?
Yes. That's what this is about.
We get ice cream.
I'm with the Cash Bros.
Oh my god. Anyways, so what's the topic for today? Since we're smoking Karl Malone cigars.
Karl Malone.
I feel like there might be maybe a theme here.
I'm just going to ask, have you
I will say the playoffs are going on.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, very exciting.
Before I announce that, who's winning it all? Who's winning the whole thing? Who's winning the whole thing? You go ahead and say it.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
Go ahead and say it. Who's winning the whole thing? Who do you think is winning? Oh, you know that has been a talk around work. You know what team I pick is going to win the whole thing?
You're going to pick the Cavs.
I'm going to pick the Cavs? No, Austin. You'll be so proud of me. I'm picking OKC to win the whole thing. Oh. That's my pick. I say they're young. I get it.
Yep.
But man, they're hungry. I think it's their time. So,
yeah, we'll see.
Yes, we shall.
We'll see. I'm really hard.
All right. I'm pretty sure a lot of others are too. There's been speculations that Warriors might come back and all this type of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, heart of a champion, baby.
Warriors prime is past.
Have you ever heard or even used, I'm taking my ball and going home?
Yeah. Fuck you, Dad. I'm going home.
Majority of the time, this is like a childish thing to say, right? It's like,
fuck yeah.
Yes. Right. I can't, the number of times I've actually heard that, and you're like, dude, you're fucking it up for everyone. Everyone. Yep. Okay. You want to be that? You're a fucking dick. You want to be that? Little bitch. Anyway, little salty feelings about that, but it's okay. The actual, like, meaning of that, like, if you was to actually break, it's like, we're going to cease participating in the activity that has turned to one's disadvantage, especially out of spite or in a way to prevent others from participating as well. AKA, I'm taking my ball and going home.
Yeah.
If I can't play, you can't play.
Yeah.
If I'm not having fun, you're not having fun.
Turn off the video game system and then walking out of the room like, fuck you guys. Like, bitch, we're in the middle of what the fuck? Nowadays, that doesn't get the same because everyone's online. So you just rage quit and stop yourself from playing.
Yeah, it's just like, I guess something happened to his internet. Oh, well.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it originates from children games. Where children's going to refuse to play further if they're not getting their way or if they're just losing. If you're playing Monopoly and you flip the whole board over because you just paid to get out of jail free, and then you land on chance that says go directly to jail, and you're like, fuck this, and flip the whole board over.
That's a little extreme.
Just saying, I've seen it happen.
You've been to jail twice? 2-time loser?
Yeah, twice.
3 times that's life, baby.
Right. Anyway, yeah, it's just childish, right? The phrase implies an immature reaction to a loss, setback, it's spiteful, suggests a desire to disrupt the activity and punish others by leaving, and then, just refusing to participate because, yeah, fuck you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's like just withdraw the game, withdraw any kind of activity. It's a very immature form of protest. If you want to add that in there, yeah. I don't get it, but it happens. And in an adult context, it carries pretty much the same meaning. I mean, because doing as an adult is describing someone who is unwilling to continue participating in a situation that they don't like. Or maybe they're losing at it or whatever. And I've seen this in the workplace before. Like there's a widget or something that needs to be moved. It weighs, let's say, 5,000 pounds. I don't know. I'm making up something, right? You have an idea. I have an idea. Timmy has an idea. And we go with my idea because it was the most probable. But Timmy's feelings are hurt because he felt like he's not being heard. He thinks his idea is the best, and he goes to the break room and fucking sits there, cross his arms, and be like, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not going to help you guys.
But it takes 3 people to move this shit.
But it takes 3, yeah. But he refuses because it's not his idea.
Timmy!
Yeah. Well, I don't know why I picked Timmy, but maybe not to use the real name of the situation that I'm talking about.
Yep, sure, why not? Yeah, it's a dickhead move, right? Like
yeah,
fucking need you. Get over here and do your fucking job. No.
Yeah.
Fuck, asshole.
If I had the ability, I would have fired him on the spot, but I didn't have that authority.
Yeah.
Well, you caused that to happen because you started doing the Timmer thing, and
Back to you.
Hey. Fucking loser. Get there, car. Oh, fuck me, man. Anyway.
We're getting.
I can't help it. You got me laughing, though. I got the giggles.
Yeah. Anyways, it serves as a reminder to develop resilience and problem-solving skills when faced with setbacks. I suggest that instead of giving up or becoming upset, you should learn to cope with your challenges or find alternative solutions and persevere. I liken this to, almost as a failure. Like the best way to learn is to fail, right? Yeah. Like Thomas Edison always famously is credited with, it took him 100 times to invent a light bulb. He goes, I didn't fail 100 times. I just learned 100 ways not to make a light bulb.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't give up. So it's the same thing. Like, what if he would have given up? Would we have light bulbs? I'm sure we would at some point. Somebody would have figured it out. Probably Tesla, but Nikola Tesla, not the car company you asked.
I knew you was one of those. No, I'm not going. I'm sorry. No politics. Let's go. Let's keep it moving.
Nice to see. That's what I said. What did I say at the top of the show? Childish co-host. Childish.
Well, I had to because I'm taking my ball and going home.
Childish.
Well, I'm just gonna say, anybody that has met me or know me or whatever, I'm not the tallest individual in the world. Some may say I'm even short. So, growing up, I would go to the basketball court, and of course, hey kid, can we use your ball? Yes. You can use my ball as I sit here on the sideline and watch you motherfuckers play with my ball while I don't get to play. Until that one time I am picked, which has caused the saying that I have grew up with, they never pick me first until they see how I play. But just think if I was that kid that was like, I'm taking my ball and going home. Now no one would be out there playing, and I will have never got that chance to show that I can actually play.
Yeah.
My resilient what's that word?
Perseverance?
Resilience.
Oh Jesus. That's where you were going with that?
Yeah. My resilience to stay put. Keep calm, cool, and collective.
Yep.
Like the pimp that I am, baby.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Come on. What are we talking about?
Taking my ball and going home. I don't want to do this podcast no more. I want to fight. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, as a leader, people are going to see how they're going to see it. How do I say this? It's easy to see how a single character trait similar to resilience or perseverance, something like that, distinguishes top performers from average ones. With experience, leaders who adopt the and others first by not taking the ball and going home mentality basically always separate themselves from leaders who are more focused on their own personal scorecode. For example, the title, the position, power, money, whatever it is, right? Like, I got better paycheck than you do. I got a better car. I'm the vice president of director of fucking That's not even a real title.
Yeah, you know what my title is? Come on, bitch.
Yeah. My title's your daddy. Becoming a better leader starts with putting your employees first. The thought process is that we're not just a company that produces widgets, we're a people company. However, as we have previously stated, no company is a family. That's false.
Come on, Uncle Austin.
Get fucked. I hate. We're all a family here. Get fucked. No, we're not. The goal is for every employee to say that they enjoyed their career during the time with the company, and 30% of the time on employee engagement could be a defining factor. So, how do you achieve this type of others first mentality?
Well, before we get in like the various specifics, and I'm very confident I talked about it on the show before. I know we have discussed it several times off air together, especially when we're talking all this leadership protocol that we grew up learning. I often flip the whole pyramid of authority upside down.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people try to appease the one or two bosses above them and then shit on the 10 people that are working for them. I often want to appease the 10 people that are working for me, and eventually all that's going to filter down to the one or two bosses above me or below me, however you're looking at the pyramid, right? Because those 10 workers, if they don't like me and they take their ball and go home, I have nothing. There's no one there to produce my widgets. There's no one there to write the TPS reports. I have nothing. But if the head guy is like, I'm taking my ball and going home, okay, we're still producing. Right. Yeah, as soon as you get back, you have a room full of fucking widgets. Right? So I often do that. I don't know if that mentality will work with every single scenario, but from my experience, it has been very helpful to where my staff would do a lot for me that I see other staff members not get the same privy.
I would agree with that. Having worked for you and with you, right? Like, where I worked for you as a subordinate and I worked with you as a peer. I would agree with that. That's what helps filter my mentality as well. I always like this. I like this graphic in my head. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Have you ever seen the picture of the bird sitting on the fucking tree that's in the shape of a pyramid? Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
And the shit is like, it just get lower and lower. The birds have more and more shit on them.
Yes.
And they're like that's why every time the leaders look down, they see shitheads, and every time the subordinates look up, they see assholes. Yeah. But it's just funny because to me it's the same thing, right? Like, it's similar to you flipping the pyramid on its head. What I would rather, as a leader, I would rather get all of this shit. I'd rather let me deal with your stuff, right? Let me deal with everything that you guys got going on, so I can knock barriers out of your way so you can go produce widgets, right? I would rather get that than give that. I don't want to give you guys shit. Like, yeah, is there some times where being a leader sucks and it makes me have to do things that I don't necessarily want to do, but it's for the betterment of the company? Absolutely. That's life. But more times than not, if I have taken care of my people, I can come up to them and say, hey guys, I know this sucks. Here's the situation. This is what I need to have happen. Let me take care of you guys on the back end or whatever, right? And because I have the rapport with my people and I've taken care of them so much, nobody bitches. They're like, yep, gotcha, boss. We understand, wholeheartedly understood, got it, we'll make it happen. And everyone always, I don't understand how you get them to do that so quickly. I didn't do anything. I take care of them. They in turn take care of me. And that's how this whole shit works around. And now when something bad happens and I have to deliver bad news, they're much more receptive to it because they know I'm not going to come and give them a bunch of shit for no reason.
Correct. And we have absolutely seen the opposite of that.
Yes.
Yes. Almost a damn near mutiny. What is your first third? You got to be in it by now, because I'm well in mine.
Yeah.
I'm dying to hear if you say the same thing I say. I'm just so fucking curious.
There's definitely like a red pepper.
Yes.
On there. It's spicy. I feel like there's a leathery undertone to it, or maybe like an oaky undertone. I can't really. It's hard to tell. Say oak. Pepper.
Yeah, I was gonna. I see how you got leather. I was gonna say oak. I was leaning towards oak, but that red and the oak probably gives it like a leathery profile to it.
Right. Yeah. It's not bad. I'm interested to see how the rest of the cigar goes. I want to reserve judgment until then.
It did say it was barrel aged, right?
Yeah,
barrel aged. So I'm pretty confident we'll get a nice little surprise near the end.
I'm hoping so.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a full disclosure here. My band was slightly loose, so I was like, oh, I can take my band off because it's slightly loose.
That's fucked up.
It was not ready to come off, and I actually peeled the leaf off a little bit, so it's a little loose. It's a little loose. And Austin is showing off because he took his band off perfectly. Perfectly. Asshole.
It goes hard in paint.
This the start of this whole combating that I'm taking my ball going home leadership style, I actually enjoyed it because it made me think really hard about the step one of moving forward. And the key line to the step one is pick the right wall.
Wall, not ball.
Wall. W-A-L-L. Yes, I'm making sure. Yeah,
I understand you correctly.
Picking the right wall. And the reason why I was talking about picking the right wall is the author is Stephen Covey. I probably said that wrong, but Covey. We're going to go with Covey. I like my way better. Covey once summed it up. It's incredibly easy to get caught up in an activity trap. It is the busyness of life. To work harder and harder at climbing the ladder of success. Climbing the ladder of success is the key here. Is only to discover that you're leaning your ladder against the wrong wall. And you chuckle, but you start thinking at the core of that, and you're like, damn, I am excelling at work. I'm excelling. I'm doing so amazing and great. But yet, the wall that I'm leaning against is not the right wall. And the reason why that probably hit home, and near the end of my career before I moved on to a different job, my ladder 100% was leaning against the wrong wall. 100%. Yeah. And after I read that, I was like, that's deep. I kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that statement at all. I think Stephen Covey is a great author. Has a lot of great books out. But it's so easy when, and I I will say that social media has been phenomenal to this. Like things like Glassdoor, there's a break room app or some shit like that where you can find out what other people in your similar positions are getting paid, right? And so what that helps you do is determine the company, because it's not, gone are the days of our grandparents and parents where they're like, I stayed 20 years, 30 years at the same company and I got a gold watch and blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, fucking congratulations. But did that company did that company work you into the ground? Did it make you a better person? Like, like what if you had changed jobs? What if you moved across country to a different company that offered you more money? What if, there's so many what ifs. I would say that this generation of social media has done wonders for that, doing just that, right? Helping people determine if their ladder is leaning against the wrong wall.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a company that does not value, that underpays you, that just toxic, whatever, micromanagement, whatever you want to do, you're in the wrong wall. Like, and then when you sit there and you go, I'm going to climb to the top of this so I can fucking change shit, guess what? By the way you're going to have to climb that ladder is the way that they're going to get you to drink, quote unquote, drink the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
And mold you into their interpretation of a leader, so then you're indistinguishable from the same people that you vowed to fight against. So, maybe it's leaning against the wrong wall, and maybe you find out going, I'm not valued in this company, I'm going to go move somewhere else. I don't know. The other first leader has chosen the wall built by contributing to the welfare of others. It's a wall made with unshakable foundation that leads to peace, purpose, and success. If your purpose is built around you, that's a purpose that is easily distracted, never fulfilled, and incapable of creating deep, meaningful relationships. It is a lonely place. You have to start by finding balance in your leadership style, which I think is very, very deep to say this, because I think this can be not just in leadership, but in relationships as well, marriages, everything, right? Like if you're sitting there and you're only focused on your happiness, then it's maybe not going to be a very good relationship, right? Or there's a lot of relationship counselors. I've heard them talk, and they said, how do I've fallen out of love with my wife or my husband or whatever. Like, how do I love them again? I go, love them. They're like, no, I don't. You're not hearing me. I don't love them anymore. No, love them, not the feeling, but the verb. Do things for them as if you love them, and you'll find that they'll start to reciprocate and they'll start to do this stuff. Now, sometimes they don't, and that means probably the relationship's over. But that's one of those ways that people say that. So it's leaning your ladder against the right wall.
And the whole, just being absorbing yourself makes it lonely. Of course it's going to make it lonely, because you're only looking out for numero uno, which everyone is like, I'm looking out for number one. Those people normally end up being just one. Company-wise, they never keep a steady job. I understand the whole job hopping, every 5 years or so, to keep that whole, competitive of pay and everything balance going. But if you have a job for 6 months and then you have another job for 6 months and then so forth, then it shows something's up. Something is up there. You don't want to become so focused on building your ladder of success or self-fulfilling your purpose. You want to start putting your employees and your company and partners and all this and your customers and stuff first, because once you start doing that, success will follow. Once you start building that foundation for your ladder, once you start building the foundation for your wall, with the customers and the people and the company, and you build a solid brick wall to lay your ladder against, then success is only going to come as you keep climbing each different rung of that ladder, because you have built that wall to where you now know which wall to place that ladder lay it against.
It's definitely it could be a self-fulfilling prophecy if you're only focused on yourself.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nobody cares about me. Yeah, bitch, because you don't care about anybody else. Why the fuck would we care about you? Well, I don't know why no one cares about me. Why I just can't find success. It's because you're a dick.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I mean, what? The phrase, is your ladder leaning against the right wall, is a metaphor, not a question about a physical ladder, that suggests whether you are pursuing goals that align with your values and long-term vision. If your efforts aren't aligned with true aspirations, you might be even climbing the wrong ladder, even if you're working hard. I liken this to, there's certain aspects of being a hamster wheel, right? I'm spinning, I'm busy, I'm not going in, right? Well, that could also be true where it's like, hey, I'm getting places, but you're in a maze and you found a dead end.
Yes.
Yeah, you made it halfway across the board, but you ran into a dead end, took the wrong turn. Oh shit! Now you got to backtrack and start all over and go the other way, and you got to find the right wall to lean against, and
hopefully you learn. Yeah,
again. Yeah. It's the same thing as if you're a rat in the maze or whatever. You're like, oh, I'm getting there. Oh, this is dead end. Shit. Now I got to go backtrack.
Well, this whole ladder leaning thing is I mean, we've been talking about it. It's more of a metaphor of alignment, right? I mean, the metaphor refers to the idea of aligning your actions with goals and values. I mean, that's all we're really talking about. We're dressing it up, I guess. Yeah. Trying to make it more understandable and for the average palate. But in the bottom line, that's what the whole metaphor is talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Stephen Covey has a quote, if the ladder is not leaning against the right wall, every step we take just gets us to the wrong place faster.
Yes.
Which
how true is that, right?
Yeah, it can be true in anything, right? Like you go work out, right? But you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're gonna have shitty ass form. Guess what? That's gonna get you the wrong place. It's gonna get you to the doctor's office because you just hurt yourself. Right? Like
skipping leg day.
So you got to avoid misdirected efforts. The metaphor highlights the importance of ensuring that your efforts are focused on achieving the desired outcomes rather than just working hard without clear direction. Again, that rat or the hamster in the hamster wheel. I'm running.
Running your ass off.
Going? Where are you going?
I'm almost there.
Are you?
I thought I was.
Listen, Tiana.
Wow, was that a Disney reference?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a 7-year-old.
Oh, hey, man. I'm no judgment here. This is judge-free zone. Austin, come on, buddy. There's a mighty fine looking beignets. Anyway. Well, here's a quick little example of like a misplaced ladder, right? This can include like pursuing a career path that doesn't align with your passions, spending money on things that don't bring you joy, or neglecting relationships in favor of work. I mean, if you travel for work all the time and then you go and you come back and you go and you come back and your significant other is there doing God knows what, but you show no concern about it, then what is it all for?
Right. It'd be one thing if you're like, hey, 2 years, I'm going to do this out and back, 2 years, build up some money, and then I'm going to find me a stable job, whatever, right? After the 2 years is up, that's when you have to stop and sit there and go, okay, it's been 2 years. I did my out and back. You were patient. I really appreciate it. We've got a nice little nest egg or whatever. I got some extra money. Now I'm going to find me a stable job, and I think I got a line on one, and I start on Monday, and we're going to try this out. Like, oh, shit. He was serious. Like, oh, fuck. Okay. Right? Like, that is a correctly placed ladder. Hey, I climbed. I'm putting you first. I get it. I sacrificed a few things, but I'm back on track, and I'm doing the right thing, right? So that's also the importance of self-reflection, right? The question prompts self-reflection on whether your current actions are taking you towards your desired future. If you're working in the oil field and you're making buku bucks, right? But you've gone all the time. Okay, I can do this for 2 years, but then that'll get me the house paid off, and that'll get us out of debt, and then I could go find me a 9-to-5 job or whatever. But I don't have to be as concerned with how much money I make because all my debt's paid off thanks to the oil field. Great. That's a step towards your desired outcome.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a step. Finding that right wall. It involves identifying your values, your goals, your long-term vision to ensure your efforts are directed towards the right wall. It accumulates everything that we were discussing. You want to see the bigger picture. You want to have the long-term vision of what you got going on. And actually, set some goals in there, and don't compromise your values.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I was saying that right. In my head, it was like compromise. Yeah, don't compromise your values. Don't compromise yourself just because you want to climb a ladder. You're climbing the wrong ladder now. It's probably on the right wall, but you're climbing the wrong ladder if your values aren't in place.
Yeah, and that goes to like I said earlier, right? Like if you're trying to climb the ladder in a corporation that mischases people so you can change that culture, but then you're not getting promoted, so you have to compromise your values to get promoted. You just became the very thing that you were trying to fight against.
Yes.
Like, no, that's not okay. All right. When we come back, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about step number 2 of how to put others first and get that type of mentality. And we'll have our third after the break.
Man, there's a lot of 2s there.
2.
Can I be Chuck Woolery? We'll be back in 2 and 2. 2 and 2. Did I just show my age?
We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Michelle from Cigars with M on the Leadership of the Leaf podcast with Dice and Austin.
Don't forget, we need to follow the podcast so we know when new episodes drop.
Welcome back. We just had a quick little break. We're discussing number 2s. We was talking about the 2s. Our first 2 that we're going to discuss is our third of the cigar. And Austin, I will have to admit that the red pepper is I don't want to say fade because it didn't fade for me. That red pepper for me took a fucking cliff dive and it is gone. Leather and oak are definitely there with a small tinge of cedar for me.
Yeah, I get all of those. I still get some sort of pepper or spice on the back end when I retro.
I'm probably not getting that because of the whatever. You can talk shit all you want because of the XO that I'm drinking. It definitely has a more of a nose palate. It definitely has a stronger olfactory when it comes to when I'm drinking it, especially out of
more floral.
What's that? Floral?
It's
no,
XO's
not really that floral. It's more of a dark wood, pruny. Either way, it has a more pungent hit on the nose than regular VSOP or VS.
Got it.
So that probably took away that spiciness in the nose there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, the expression that you have is like whatever.
I'm just waiting for you to finish talking about your fucking Hennessy.
That's amazing. Hey, lean that ladder against the right wall of this Hennessy, motherfucker.
How about I practice serving?
Practice serving like volleyball?
No, like tennis, duh.
Yeah, pickleball.
No, it's another way to get that others first mentality is to practice serving others.
Oh. Hors d'oeuvre, sir. Another croquette.
Isn't that what's too much?
All right.
All right. So none of us are naturally unselfish. Have you ever seen toddlers play with fucking toys?
Mine. That
Yeah,
toy,
like-
that one's mine too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to play with that until you had it.
We are hardwired to care more about ourselves than others. It's like, hey Bill, are those berries poisonous? I don't know. Go fucking taste it and find out. I want you to find out first before I go eat it. The good news is, though, is you can retrain yourself through adoption of new habits by proactively serving others. Each day you identify one person you're going to serve for the purpose of helping them without any gain for yourself. That's the whole idea, without any gain for yourself. Don't serve the boss because he's hoping to get a fucking pay raise or some shit. It could be a direct report, a colleague, or anyone in front of the company. If you don't know what to do for them, ask the most powerful question in a servant leader's toolkit. What can I do to help? Following through is the key to making a change in your hardwired behavior. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, what can I do to help you today?
Just sharing your notes about your cigar would be very helpful.
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
Or, I
You ready to
don't.
move on?
Yeah, I don't really feel that was genuine. You kind of blew me off a little bit, but
No. I'll share them. I'll help you out. I'll share them. Eventually.
the main key to what you just said is the follow up portion. And that's where a lot of people kind of lack. Like I said, sharing your information. Then when we get to our final third, you don't share your information. Then why the hell did you even ask me? You're not genuine. You suck, dude. You just absolutely suck. I will never come to you for help again. And don't ask me to help again.
So, I got a story about this.
All right.
Sorry, I had to relight my cigar again. That's the third time. Weird. So my boss came to me and he was like, hey, your annual performance report is due. You got satisfactory marks, whatever, all this good stuff. And I was like, all right, cool, thanks. And he's like, and I asked him, I was like, what can I do to get better? Always trying to get better. I don't want to say the same. Why? And he's like, oh, yeah, I owe you that feedback. And I was like, okay. I was like, cool. What can I do to get better? And he's like, nope, I'll get you that feedback, I promise. That was 3 months ago. I'm still waiting on that feedback.
So now, is this the point where you kind of nudge? Would that be inappropriate?
No, it wouldn't be inappropriate. But the thing here's the other kicker of the whole story. Is I was like, he's like, yeah, I promise I'll get you that feedback. And I looked him dead in the face and I said, that would be a first. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, I have not had a supervisor in a very long time follow through on getting me feedback for how I can get better. It's always just been very vague, very bullshit.
You're doing good. Just keep up what you're doing.
Yeah. And I was like, so I said, I don't believe for a minute that you're going to give me the feedback that you promised. And he's like, no, I promise. I'm going to get you that feedback. You believe me? I said, no, I don't believe it. I was like, I will believe it when I see it. That's like my kid. Dad, I promise. If you get me this toy, I won't ask for anything more.
Yeah, no.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
The bullshit.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe you. I know that. I know that's not going to happen. So I told the boss, same thing. I was like, no, I don't believe you. He's like, but I promise. Okay, great. I don't know you from Adam. I was like, you've been in this job for 6 months. Great. I was like, I like you as a person. We get along. I don't trust you. And he was flabbergasted. that I would not trust him to deliver on the promise he made. Weird.
Well, I'm from, I always mess this up. I always pick the wrong state. I'm from Missouri, the Show Me State.
That is Missouri.
Oh, yeah, I got it right. I normally fuck up and say Minnesota.
Nope, Missouri.
Nope, I'm from Missouri, the Show Me State. That's where I'm from.
And it's not. So part of the reason why I haven't touched it, because I was talking with my wife about this the other day. She's like, "Well, have you asked for it again?" I was like, "That's not the point. The point is, he promised me that he would do this,
and he's only proving you right."
Yeah, and I told her, I was like, "Sweetheart, if I promise you, babe, I promise, I promise you that I'm going to buy you a new car." And then 6 months goes down, and you're like, "Where the fuck is this new car?" Would you believe me if I said the next thing out of my mouth is, "Babe, I promise, I'm not going to go to the bar anymore"? She's like, "No." Okay then. What are we talking about? I was like, "Would you ask me for a new car?" "No, because you promised." I was like, there it is, right there. Boom. You shouldn't have to ask. I made a promise.
I promise I'll do the dishes tonight. I got it.
Yeah, I got you. Fuck out of here.
Effectively practicing serving as a leader. Prioritize the needs of your team, empower them, foster a collaborative environment, lead by example, actively listen, and provide opportunities for growth and development. And remember to be self-aware, practice empathy, and build strong relationships with your team.
But there's a simple, I think there's one word to sum up that entire thing.
Hold on. No, could you just give me 1 second so I can pick up my glass? Let me get.
It starts with a C.
I have it in my hand. You can say it now.
Communicate.
Oh shit! Communicate.
Communication. Holy shit!
For those of you playing at home, please raise a glass.
Oh my god! It's key. It's weird.
It's a damn shame. That is so difficult to understand that. Some people are just afraid to communicate.
What we have here is a failure. I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand why it's so hard to understand that. And I find this so true in so many different facets of my life, that there have been, if you just would have talked to me, you just would have said what you were thinking, if you would have sat me down like an adult, all of this unpleasantness could have been avoided. You got to put the needs of others first. That's basically what this boils down to.
Okay.
A servant leader understands that their role is to support and empower the team, not to dominate or control them, right? That domination or control would be a manager.
I rule you.
Yeah.
I dominate you. And I'm also going to lead by example. That's a hard one for some people to follow. Because it's one of those things, a lot of times when people, I'll read the definition in a minute. A lot of times when people come to me and they ask a question, I have to preface the answer, because I have to know, which answer do you want? I can give you the corporate conglomerate answer, or I can give you the dice answer. And a lot of times they want the dice answer, but I have to give them both, because I don't want them doing something incorrect for the company as a whole, just because dice gave an answer that you prefer to hear. Right. I agree with you on this subject matter. However, the company's policy is this.
Speaking of that, I don't know. This is not trying to get into politics. I'm throwing out a fact here. Did you hear recently the commander of the Space Force base in Greenland was fired?
I have not.
Okay, so you know the vice president, however many weeks, months, whatever, visited the Space Force base in Greenland, vice president, made a speech. After he left, and his entourage left, the base commander sent out an all-hands email.
Oh.
And said, the opinions of the Vice President of the United States do not reflect the opinions of this Space Force base.
Oh. Huh.
Fired.
Yeah. Yes. Even though he's not the boss, the commander-in-chief, he's right there. He's right motherfucking there. So to go against that publicly in front of all hands, yeah, I can see that. Right.
So lead by example. I say that to say this. Leading by example can have its consequences, good or bad. Consequences are neutral, right? They can be good consequences. If I pay my taxes and I do all the right things, guess what? I don't go to prison. If I break the law, the consequence is I go to fucking prison, right? Like, okay. So you lead by example. You can lead the wrong way by example, right? Because showing up late, taking 3-hour lunches, forging expense reports, whatever the case is, right? Or you can lead by a good example, showing up on time, holding others accountable, always doing the right thing, having integrity, right? So there's, so I say that to make sure when you lead by example, you're leading by the right example. Hopefully that makes sense.
You want to demonstrate the behaviors you expect from your team. This is including being willing to get your hands dirty, showing respect, and prioritizing teamwork. Now, there was a time I was at work somewhere and the wind was blowing like stupid crazy, right? So there was trash all over the place. So what did I do? Anybody that knows Dice knows exactly what I did. I went with the outside people that sweep up the trash. I went and grabbed one of their brooms and their little dustpans and their little trash pickup stuff. And I right there with them picking up all the trash. It's not their fault the wind was blowing everything all haywire. But I got my hands dirty. Like, okay, I'm not above this. Let's do this. If I help you guys, this is going to, and I guarantee you, anybody else that saw me out there doing that is like, well, shit, if he's doing it, why can't I? Why can't we? Let's all chip in and do this together and have it done in 30 minutes instead of 3 hours.
I had the same thing at work. It was a dog and pony show. And the task was to pick up the mulch in the parking lot that had blown out of the flower bed because the wind blew.
Yes.
You know how fucking dumb it is to pick up mulch out of a goddamn parking lot? Shit's stupid.
No, not at all, sir.
But I was out there getting my hands dirty with all my subordinates, and they're like, you don't have to help us. I was like, yeah. I understand I don't have to. I want to, because if I get this done, then you guys are done quicker, and I have you to produce more widgets for me later on. So I'm out here helping you get this shit done.
AKA building a stronger foundation for your wall to lean your ladder against.
Exactly. Actively listen. You have to pay close attention to your team's needs and concerns and ideas, ask clarifying questions, and show genuine interest in their perspective. Right? So if I ask, guys, how was your day today? And he drones on about how he had a piece of toast, and then he got out of bed, and then he did this. I have to actually sit there and give a shit. I don't just to be like, hey, how was your day? Yeah, all right, cool. I need you to do this for me. That's not how that works.
Right. A takeaway from that. The guy was talking about his toast, right? Whatever the fuck. I don't care what toast he had, right? So 2 or 3 days later down the line, hey, Austin, did you have toast this morning? Did you do it the same? Or did you end up getting wheat toast this time? What's going on? Oh shit. You remembered I had toast?
Yeah.
No, it might spar a fucking friendship that you kind of like, oh, I don't really want to talk to this guy about toast. But I mean, you're building that rapport, you're building a foundation of trust and everything with that.
I can tell you, I had a basically the CEO, right?
Yeah.
I was working and I was eating lunch at my desk, and he came by and just, hey, how's everything going? And we all like, you know, I stood up and was like, oh, hey, sir. Yeah, we're doing good. He's like, oh, you're eating? Sit down, eat. What'd you get for lunch? At the time, I was like, oh, I just went and picked up Jimmy John's. And he goes, oh, Jimmy John's. Do you like Jimmy John's? I don't like their bread. I think it's too tough. And I was like, oh, well, coincidentally, I have an unwich. And he's like, what the hell is an unwich? I was like, it's the sandwich inside, but it's all wrapped in lettuce. And he goes, can I see that? And so I showed it to him. He's like, come on, try that. That looks fucking delicious. I was like, hey, this is what I get. And then so the very next time I saw him, he goes, hey, Austin, I had an unwich the other day. I was like, oh, did you like it? He goes, fuck yeah, that thing was delicious. And I was like, well, I'm glad I could help. He was like, hell yeah, good job, good looking out. And I was like, sure. It was nothing big, but I was just like, that guy actually gave a shit, and he remembered that something as small as what the fuck I was eating for lunch a day.
Actively
like 3 weeks
listen.
ago.
100% active. And I mean, people can't see you right now, but you was like, yeah, your enthusiasm as you was announcing that he had one. Like, it's amazing. Like, he actually had one.
Yeah. I was like, that's cool.
All right.
Yeah. You got to empower and delegate. You got to trust your team members to make decisions and take ownership of their work, provide the necessary resources for support, but avoid micromanaging. It's that same thing I was talking about. Give me your shit. Let me break down the barriers so you guys can focus on producing widgets, whatever the work is, right?
Yeah.
Let me break down whatever barriers. Oh, it's a bureaucratic red tape nightmare to push an expense report through. Let me see if I can't tackle that process and get it streamlined for you guys so the expense reports flow a lot quicker. Oh, that's something I can do.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. I'm empowering my people.
It's something. It can be something as simple as like if all your people have to write on receipts. If people have to write like a certain thing on receipts, and on that receipt, if you can have something pre-printed or a stamp just to put it in there, that'll save them that much time of writing because everyone just kind of hated it. And you fucking put in a work order or something to get the paperwork changed to fit everyone's needs instead of just everyone making do. Like, this is the way it's always been done. Like, oh, let me see if I can fix that. I mean, you're going to empower you're going to provide all the tools that your team is going to need to advance forward.
Yeah, well, and even if maybe you don't have the right answer, maybe you have to foster that collaborative environment. You know, encourage that open communication, feedback, and teamwork. Celebrate successes and learn from mistakes. Maybe you don't come up with a stamp idea, but maybe you're walking by and you see somebody going bang, 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 bang. You're like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, I bought a rubberized custom stamp because all these fucking expense reports take 16 years for me to hand jam all this shit when I could just stamp shit and then write in the last couple, the month and the day and the year. And I just bought a personalized stamp for this shit. Like, holy, that is fucking genius.
Yes.
I'm going to put in a requisition order for like 15 more of those stamps because that's a fucking great idea. Hell yeah. Boom. Collaborative environment. Everyone works. Everyone's faster, better, easier. And it works great.
Well, stuff like that, it provides the opportunities for growth and development, because that guy that came up with that, he could be probably employee of the month or some kind of gold star for him for coming up with that. I mean, it wasn't your idea, but you're the one that propelled that idea forward so everyone can benefit from it. So it's definitely one of those things that you're going to invest in your team. You're going to invest in their training, their development. You're going to encourage them to pursue their personal and professional goals. There's people I work with now that they're pursuing like different goals outside of the work environment that we're in. I'm genuinely interested. Hey, you said you had a test last Thursday. Did you pass that test? Oh yeah, Dice, I aced that. Now I'm on to this and this and this. All right, how you feel about that? I mean, I'm fostering that growth. Even though that growth, I know once he reached his goal, I know he's going to leave. I know this, but I still want him to grow. I still want him to be a better him.
Yeah, right. And that can be a form of showing appreciation and recognition, right? Like acknowledge and appreciate the contributions of your team members, both big and small. This is going to boost morale and motivation. Hey, fuck yeah, dude! Way to ace that test, man. Like you feel good about the rest of the class, right? Like hell yeah. Okay, good, man. I got it. Let's make sure we put some of those lessons learned to good use. I bet you we can get you employee of the month or some shit. Like hell yeah, that sounds great. Or hey, did you know our company has a tuition assistance program that'll help you get an MBA or whatever whenever you're done with whatever? Like I did not know that. Mm-hmm. Let me set you up with the forum. Let me set you up with the people. Let me make sure that you get taken care of to help you do this because the company wants to keep you here. Oh, fuck yeah, that's dope.
There are times where certainly I guess you would fall back or take a stumble back, and it's one of those times where you need to humble yourself. You need to humble up. To quote Kendrick Lamar. You want to avoid your you want to avoid your arrogance and your pride. So many times, I don't want to say a lot. That's not right. Sometimes leaders, they get I call it a big head. They think they know more than what they actually know. Where I know, Austin, you know more about this widget than I do. I know we produce this widget. I know how the outcome is, but in the weeds of things, I know you know about this widget. So let me humble up and it's not your first. This is not my first bicycle ride. So it's one of those type situations where you acknowledge your limitations and be willing to learn from others. Yeah, I want to learn how to ride that bike. It's a different bike. I haven't rode that one before. Can you help me?
Yeah. And that goes to being, humble, being humble and approachable, right? Like, and then also being authentic and transparent. Be honest and open with your team about your goals, challenges, decisions. That builds trust and capability. Hey, I may not know as much as you do, but guess what? I'm willing to learn. I want to know who's the best motherfucker out here at this process. Oh, that'd be Tim. Great, Tim. I'm your bitch today. Show me this process. I want to know the ins and outs of this process. No, I can teach it to you in an hour. No. I want to know it about as well as I can, as quickly as I can. I get it. I'm not an expert, but I have to be able to make good decisions about this process, and I can't do that if I don't understand the process. All right, boss. Let me take you through it. Great, thank you. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to teach me how to do this.
I mean, it's just that simple to help build that trust, and it also builds credibility. It also shows that you're not only helping your team and getting in the weeds of everything, you're also going to be focused on that long-term goal of everything. You don't want to lose focus on the short-term gains, but you want to think about how your actions and decisions will impact your team as an organization in the future. So if I've learned from you, each one teach one, and then I follow all these other steps where I'm humble, I show my appreciation, I recognize those that are recognizable, because let's face it, not everybody's recognizable, but you also want to acknowledge everyone. Like, okay, Austin, you did good today. Tim, you did better than Austin. No, you don't want to say that, but you know what I'm saying. You want to acknowledge everyone in their own kind of way, Yeah.
You used to ask me something when I first started, and it always kind of made me chuckle because I always answered you the same way because I knew my worth. But the question was always, Austin, have you sucked at life today? And my answer was like, hell no, I'm fucking amazing. But it was one of those things where, like, it gave me a chance for self-reflection. I was like, did I suck at life? No, fuck no, I'm amazing. Like, I'm good. But it was one of those things where I had to sit there and it gave me a second to think about to look at myself in the mirror real quickly and be like, and there was sometimes when you're like, did you suck at life today? And I was like, yeah, I fucked this part up, or I did this, and I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z, and you're like, do you need help with it? And I'm like, no, I got it. It just kicked my ass for a little bit. And that's all right, and it was as simple as that. But it wasn't like a mean way of like, how dare you suck at life? It was like, hey, you good? Like, are you okay? You need any help? That was the basis of the question.
The key to that question is I know you recognized it, but I don't know if you recognized it right away. But I always followed up again when that same task was at hand.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I would, not just you, but others, I would kind to gear that task towards that person, especially if they struggled the first time or the second time. I often made sure that person did that same task a few more times.
Yeah. No, I did. All right. So number 3, before we get into our final third, is to listen. Too many leaders are interested in what they have to say versus what other people have to say. When you do all the talking, it broadcasts to everyone else that you don't care what others have to say. It can also indicate that you do believe that you're the smartest person in the room. I know you haven't watched it, but the American version of The Office, there's a line in there. It's this customer service lady. She's like, I talk a lot, so I've just learned to tune myself out. And I'm like, what? I don't know what to do that. I tell my son, I'm trying to teach him how to listen. He's 7, so it's hard. But I'm like, don't just listen to respond. Listen to understand. I'm trying to ask you a question that I need you to understand the meaning of. Did you do this? I don't need long explanated, like I was going to get. No, it is a yes or a no, and then I will follow up with a why if I need more explanation, or how did you come to that conclusion, or something along those lines. Listen to understand the question that I'm asking. Okay.
Well, my kid also prefaced like, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. I'm not yelling. I'm not doing any of that. Just want to know.
Yeah.
Did you feed the dog today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was watching YouTube and I got caught up with this, and then I had. Okay. I did not. Okay.
Could you please go do it?
Can we make sure we feed him at 6? And I know it's 6:30 now. Feed him now, and then let's just make sure we feed him at 6. Is that a difficult task? No, sir. Okay. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Try this. If you're one of these that have the meetings and stuff with all your subordinates and stuff like that, try this. Try leading the entire meeting with only asking questions. I understand it may be a struggle at first, but it will change how you think about your team and how they think about you.
Yeah.
It'll be a struggle. It'll be a struggle for me too. Yes. Struggle bus for real.
Yeah. 100%. Because I'm already like thinking about how I would do it. And I know that all right. Does anyone know why we're here? All right. Why do you think that we're here for that? What makes you say X, this, that, and the other?
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, how did we come to that conclusion? And people are just going to be like firing off it, and you'll find more stuff out because people are going to be caught off guard.
Yeah.
Because they came in ready to defend whatever it was.
Yes. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. It was Austin. It was all Austin. I can't wait to blame everything on Austin.
And then it's why are we here today? Oh, because this happened. Okay. How did that action or whatever, how did that situation come about? Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so why were you over there?
Yeah.
When they were over here doing that? Well, I was, got it. Okay, and why? You start asking why and how and all this, and people are going to be like, they'll start being like, yeah, well, he did that because I was over here doing this other inventory. Okay, why were you doing that other inventory when I specifically asked for you to do this inventory with him? Well,
those are kind of spearheaded. I was leaning more towards, hey, Austin, did we produce any widgets today?
Yeah.
Did we? Oh, did you run into any roadblocks? Anything like any kind of hazards or anything? Any kind of slowed you down?
Yeah, this one fucker named Dice.
Oh, Dice. I've heard of this Dice guy before. He's pretty awesome. I heard. So in the future, is there a way we can circumvent going around Dice to prevent any of these roadblocks? Like, how many times has this roadblock come into play?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. No, we're both in the right direction.
Yeah. And again, it's hard because you want to start like narrowing the focus on certain things, but if you just start, what problems did you guys encounter? What questions do you guys have in your mind?
Yeah.
What can I clarify for you? What makes you think who thinks this is dumb?
Yes,
Why
that's also a good question too, because maybe there's a something out there that can be changed. Because that's the way we always do it. One of those type scenarios, and no one is willing to. Anyway, we can go round and round of how to formulate these questions. Just like your final third will be mortalized forever.
All right, stand locked. There's a earthy sub-note to this, I feel like oak and leather, maybe.
You're killing me, Smalls. I just wanted to say that. I can taste the barrel age coming through. Definitely leather, and definitely I want to say oak. Like, I don't know how to describe it unless you have had something from a cask before.
Right.
But I'm definitely getting the cask age of this cigar. It is definitely.
Are you getting
nice
any
cigar.
spice?
I kind of wish I didn't pair it with XO, because I think that's murdering any kind of spice from this cigar.
Okay.
So I will smoke it again.
I'm not getting a whole lot of spice. I'm just curious because I'm a little bit on the retro hail. It's just like a dash of spice. Okay, so then that leads me to my question: single, 5-pack, or box worthy?
It's time to answer the question. Is the cigar box worthy, 5-pack, or just 1 or 2?
This is where I have a hard time.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Because I like everything about this cigar. The construction of it was very well. The color, everything about it. If I had to put a big negative on this cigar, I mean, it's a big negative for me. It's the number of times I had to relight it.
Yeah.
It has been over 5. I literally stopped counting at the 5.
I think I'm at like 4 or 5 myself.
You know what? As of right now, I'm going to call it boxworthy. I'm going to call it boxworthy, because I like everything about it except for the relighting. So maybe we talk too much. It's one of those cigars you can't really talk with. Maybe it's just they're aged a little too long for however long we had it. Maybe, I don't know. I would love to purchase another one and see how that goes. But that's going to be the only strike I kind of hold against it. And you know what? If I'm actually trying to sit out and enjoy it, I don't think I will have to relight it as much, because I'm saying we had to relight it because of talking.
Okay, interesting. How do I say it? You know what? I gotta say it. I'm not a huge fan of this flavor.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't want. It could be an age thing. Yeah, it could be what I'm pairing it with. I don't know. I didn't think I'd be like, oh my god, because it's not a cedar, right? But it's like it has a musty taste to me. That I'm just not a fan of. Like, it's almost too earthy.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, I just get like
I get what you're
like
saying.
damp earth. I'm struggling with this one because my gut tells me one thing, but I'm like, there's no way. And I'm trying to block out the negative, right? Because there's been a lot of talk about this cigar in the past. I've heard a lot of negative things about this cigar where it's like, whatever. So I'm trying not to let that influence my decisions. But I'm not a huge fan of this taste. I'm not a huge fan of having to relight it. The construction was really good. The ash, it's packed in there tight. It's nicely worked. All of that sort of stuff. The burn line's been really good. I just don't know if I can. I can't give it a box rating. I can tell you that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 5-pack on there. My initial gut reaction is to give it a single. Just because of the taste. But I'm wondering if I just let it sit too long. So I want to pick up another one and try smoking it again, just by itself. Yeah, I'm gonna call it 5-pack now.
Well, I will say our flavor profile's been slightly skewed because of what I'm pairing mine with, and I wonder if I pair mine with something different, will I have a different reaction to it? Because I think it muted some of the flavors that you were getting.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I'm gonna stick with what I got. You stick with what you got. We'll definitely smoke the cigar again. We'll smoke it off air. We'll smoke whatever, and we'll update it if need be. But as of right now, that's where I'm landing. I 100% would buy a box of these. Yeah.
I think I could. So, all right. Well, until next time, my name is Austin.
And I'm Dice.
And great leaders smoke great cigars.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you for listening to Leadership of the Leaf. The comments and opinions expressed by the host and guests does not reflect the opinions of those that broadcast this show, nor does it reflect any of our affiliates.